Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. For those of you who don't know, I started Grumpy Old Fart to express my political and social opinions and to say things that I felt needed to be said. Unfortunately, YouTube started giving me strikes. As a hedge against this happening, I have created backup YouTube channels, Grumpy Old Gamer and Grumpy Old Ufologist. I also created a channel called Grumpy Old Fart over on Rumble, a free speech alternative to YouTube. You can find all of my stuff there, including my political opinion and current events. The link to my Rumble channel, as well as links to let you order my books, are in the description of this video. If you enjoy my content, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. Now, on with the video.
Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. My voice is still scratchy, and I apologize. I may cough a little bit. I'm still getting over that cold. Excuse me, but we're going to try to get through this. Okay. This is an unexplained phenomena video on the Hound of Mons, and I'd never heard of this before. Found an article on it the other day. World War I was the catalyst for levels of violence between human beings that hadn't been seen to date. World War I was supposed to be the Great War, the war to end all world wars. World War I saw the first mass use of modern machine guns. Bad weather and influenza combined to kill off combatants almost as fast as the machine guns did. Excuse me. Amidst all of this horror, British troops were visited by a different kind of horror. In 1914, German troops occupied Mons, and the British valiantly marched to take it back. The British were outnumbered, but determined. Their assault was successful, but extremely costly. The muddy and bloody trench warfare took its toll, and eventually both sides dug in and held the line. Between the two sides, of course, lay no man's land between the trenches. Look that up in history, you'll see what I mean. Here's where the story gets strange. Military tactical doctrine demands that patrols be sent out periodically to determine where the enemy is and to prevent an enemy buildup for an attack. That's just common sense. One night, a 5-man British patrol went out into no man's land, and it did not return. When the bodies were recovered, the fatal wounds were strange. They were not bullet wounds or knife wounds, as would be expected. Instead, all 5 men had been bitten in the throat by some horrid beast. It was like their throats were ripped out. It was like a dog bite, but much larger. Their throats were literally ripped out. Now, a dog killing one of 5 armed men, I could understand. Dogs were often used in World War I to carry equipment and ammunition, and they were also used as guard dogs, so I get that part. That part is easily explainable. But one dog or a group of dogs, possibly a pack, that kills a party of armed men who never get off a shot. That's a little hard to swallow. You know what I mean? After that first incident, many more British men would be found in no man's land with their throats ripped out and horrible bite marks to their bodies. Often in the night, monstrous howls would be heard echoing across the area. For 2 years, the Hound of the Mons prowled no man's land, butchering British soldiers and terrifying the troops. Then, as suddenly as it started, the attack stopped. Very few witnesses saw the beast, and all of them reported a huge black hound. The victims were all trained soldiers, armed for war, and nobody got a shot at it. There are no records of anybody shooting at this thing. Now, here's where it takes an even weirder turn. Yeah, and I do not buy into this. Please don't think I buy into it. I'm putting it in here because it's part of the story. Okay. In 1919, a Canadian veteran named F.J. Newhouse wrote a book wherein he claimed that the hound wasn't a hellhound or a phantom. Instead, he proposed a different origin for the beast. He claimed that a German scientist named Dr. Gottlieb Hochmuller had been experimenting with wolfhounds. He created a huge specimen through selective breeding Then he traveled Germany, scouring the insane asylums looking for a proper specimen of man. He found a man who had gone mad in his hatred for England. Then, with the consent of the German government, he extracted the brain from the man and inserted it into the wolfhound. The man died, of course, but the wolfhound grew powerful and notorious. The hound was then set free to hunt British troops at Mons. Now, nobody can say for sure if Newhouse had real information, of the hound's origin, or if he just made it all up. However, he claimed that papers from Hochmuller's house could prove what he said. Those papers never materialized, so we don't know. And personally, I think that's a little horseshit. But the fact that dozens of trained, armed soldiers were killed by a wolfhound, with none of them ever getting a shot off, makes a thinking man wonder. I doubt the Newhouse story, but those men died. That is a fact. What kind of animal could kill them with none of them getting a shot off? And most of them were in groups. It's not. It didn't hunt individuals. It hunted groups of men. These are trained soldiers in a wartime setting, wartime footing, and none of them got a shot off. Not once. I'm sorry, that's crazy. There's something to this story. I seriously doubt the Newhouse explanation in his book, but there's definitely something to the story because people died because of this big dog. I don't know if it was a trained attack dog or what, but there was definitely something at Mons. So, anybody who can do a little more research, I'd be glad to read your comments. Hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good day now. God bless one and all.